You gonna go bed? You gonna go bed? Hey. Uh there is I have a live studio audience. Oh, okay. If you hear the little pitter patter, yeah. Hollywood's getting his dog. How you doing there, Fester? Good to see you. Good to see you. There he is. There he is. Wah, 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 wah.
I'm doing great, Jack. How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, any day upright is better than the alternative, sir. And
There you go.
you need to do me something because I'm going to be flying in tomorrow, and so I don't know what you got going on, but I know that there's an event tomorrow. In fact, there's the people that know about it. Hopefully, they'll pop in. But there is a meet. Well, there's a meet and greet tomorrow night that we probably won't make because we won't be in time. We'll actually be in like around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we'll miss the meet and greet. But there are things to do on Saturday, and I hope to see you Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, so I can actually meet you. We can take some pictures together too.
I'll try to see if we can work that out for Saturday. So let me see if we can work that out, and we'll be in touch. So yeah,
For sure, because I got to give you a big old bear squeeze. You know, so it's
there
always
you
good
go.
to see you meet you up close and personal. And again, I've done that with a lot of the guys that I've been codes with. I actually did not get a chance to meet. Well, I met Johnny Souza at CTE dinner, so I have met him personally. I've met Alex and Richie Riche from the show. I have met Jack Kenna. So I'm good to go there. So I definitely would like to meet you, and then I'll
See if we can.
coach. Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can do that on Saturday.
No, I'm good on night. Good night, there, sir. Take care. That is Hollywood Raider saying good night to everybody. I feel like such a schmo. You know, he goes to bed early. I'm in his house. I don't go to bed till like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. He gets up at like 5. I sleep in till 8, 9, but it's normal for me. That's my normal thing. So, but I try not to be a nudge. So, sir, we're gonna
Yes, sir.
get down into the good stuff. Oh, Doug, I'm sorry, I missed you, Doug. See, Doug is my man, and I say man. When I go to a game, Doug always makes sure that I have a bottle of water. It's usually all hot. Doug's my shipmate from Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry I missed you, Doug. He saw me, but I didn't get a chance to see him. So it's great to see everybody. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if you remember, but way back in the day, the general who was out in Los Angeles, who used to go to all the games,
Ron
I
Rickard.
would catch up. I would catch up with him, and I would always tote his water for him.
Yeah, there you go. General Ron Rickard.
General Ron. Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Absolutely. That's going way back.
Yeah. And may he rest in heaven too. Great guy.
May he rest in peace. Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the game.
Yeah, let's do that. We've been piddle futzing for a while. I said piddle futzing, people. I said piddle futzing. I didn't even do it yet. Go ahead, Sharif, go ahead, sir.
That's kind of like fiddle farting, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's not a real swear.
Here's the thing. Geno just didn't have a good game. And when he threw that first interception on the first play, he just couldn't seem to get it out of his head. And I mean, we've seen this before with players, with good players, that when they get off to a bad start, we've seen this with Mahomes a lot. If certain players, if you get off to a bad start, they just can't seem to shake it. And for some reason, Geno just couldn't seem to shake it. Now, his offensive line didn't help him too much, and I will tell you this. Alex Kappa has probably got to be the most expensive mistake that we've made this year. He came in and did nothing. I mean, Geno had his head on a swivel pretty much the whole time, and I'm just hoping that we get JPJ back, and that will make a huge difference right there. But I didn't know if Kappa was even going to make the initial squad or not. But he hadn't really shown me that much. But now, I mean, the Raiders had their chances, and when you want to talk about conspiracy theories and you want to talk about how the Raiders get screwed. Now, I know it was late in the game, and I know that the Raiders didn't have a chance to win at this point, but the Raiders, Geno Smith was sacked on a fourth down, and the Charger player takes his helmet off on the field.
Thank you.
And they show it up close, and I'm thinking, okay, there's the flag, and they never called. The Raiders are the only team that would not benefit from such a call. Only one.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. They're saying, "Oh, it's over. They don't need the first down." You know,
Right.
F you. A rule is a rule. Every time there's a rule to screw us, they'll screw us. Why did they not at least give rules that could actually help and support us? It is a mystery to me. It really is.
If you're going to call a rule, you need to call a rule. And so as soon as that helmet came off, I'm like, okay, there's the flag, and it didn't come. But even having said that, the Raiders had their chances.
Yes.
You take a 14 play drive, you run 11 minutes off the clock, and you only come away with 3. I mean, that's criminal. That's criminal. Now, Dylan Parham once again comes up with that costly penalty in the end, but Geno again was forcing the ball into double and even sometimes even triple coverage. And fortunately, the one interception didn't cost us. The first one did, 3 points, and credit the Raider defense for holding them to just 3. But the second interception didn't cost them anything. But here's the other thing. Pratt had an interception in his hands.
Yes.
You've got to make plays like that. You've got to be able to get the defense off the field, particularly when they're in a dogfight like they were. You've got to be able to step up and make the play. And I know he was hitting himself in the helmet and everything, but you just got to make the play. That's what we brought him in for.
Yeah, and actually, if I remember correctly, it was in front of me by my vantage point. It was on my side of the field that it was in his hands, and technically there was nobody in front of him. They were off onto the side, and he's not slow. I mean, he's not me slow, but
he might not have scored, but he could have come close.
Right. He definitely could have gotten at least 30 yards ahead, which would have put us on like the in the teens, like maybe between 15 and the 20. And that's an opportunity. And that's also an emotional momentum game,
Right.
So you gotta have things like that.
And again, they were able to move the ball. Matt's asking for getting JPJ back. He was limited in practice today, which is a good sign. So they had 3 players on the injured, but all 3 of them were limited action. So there was nobody that was held out of practice today. So that's a good sign. So as far all signs are pointing upward. Now the Commanders have a whole litany of injuries, and the one they're looking at more than anything else is their quarterback. So, we'll see what happens. But my fear is that if Daniels doesn't play, that, here comes Mariota, Mr. Backup, Mr. Nothing. And we have a history of having backup quarterbacks coming in and lighting the Raiders defense up. So I'm not liking that.
And it's not that. And I see it, Johnny. I'll get you in as soon as we get a good segue. Well, since I'm talking, give me about 20 minutes, for the segue. He laughed. But it's not only is the backup quarterbacks that get us, this guy has an axe to grind. This is a former Raiders quarterback that wasn't really afforded an opportunity when he was there as Carr's backup. I remember they had the one play, and I think it was the opening night game. I can't remember what year. It was the opening night game. He does the quarterback where he's playing the run quarterback. He gets maybe a 20, 25 yard gain, maybe even 30. He gets it and just runs, and it gets a nice long game. And he tore his hammy or he had an injury on one carry. One carry, one great run, and then he's out for a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
gonna
I mean,
before go
once
ahead.
again, the
Go ahead.
Raiders had their chance. The Raiders had their chances, and we'll bring in your guy here.
What's up,
Oh,
guys?
he ain't my guy. He ain't my guy. He ain't my
He's
guy.
your guy.
You
He's
know.
your guy.
Hey, so Cap, real quick, did you see that video I sent you when I was in the Flamingo, and I'm like, no way, you came up like on a promo, and then I got my I got my camera out, and there you were. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, we were sitting over at the whiskey bar across the street from the stadium, and there was a bunch of myself, Hollywood, Anna, his wife, Loretta, and Power Raider. We're all sitting around in our gear, and these two ladies that came in, and you can tell a newscaster just by the aura, that they, these ladies dressed to the nines. They're like, all right, black hole, yeah, and she's so about a couple minutes later, or maybe Gogo went and primed them. I don't know which, but they said that they wanted us over for an interview, so we did. It was three quick jets into like their programming, and I'm so happy you caught that because that's now my profile pic.
I saw that. I didn't know if I was going to get anything monetarily out of that one, but anyway, hey, I'll jump right back or jump into what you were talking about, which is really important. Okay, I mean, Raider fans out there, raise your hand if you want Marcus Mariota, or raise your hand if you want Jaden Daniels. I know, I know. I'll still take Marcus Mariota over Jaden Daniels. I believe that. I just don't want to see Jaden Daniels pull a Michael Jordan where he's sick, or the linebacker from the Chargers. He came out and had the game of his life against us. So I'd rather have Mariota. I'm not a fan of his arm, but he can run, and he runs. He likes to run first. And you are
Yeah,
right, Cap. Great point. That was against the Ravens the first night that they let fans in the stadium, and he ripped off a killer run, and Gruden was using him perfectly. And then he got hurt, but then he came back when Carr got hurt against the Chargers. Remember that? And he had
I
he
do.
had a really good game. So I know, Fester, I'm with you. That's like they may light that fire under his ass, right before he goes on.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see if and of course I live in the DC area, so all eyes are seeing whether or not Daniels practices tomorrow. If he doesn't practice, then he won't play.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
they said according to BSPN, and you're there in DC, so you get more localized view. But
Right.
according to BSPN, Quinn says he's doing all the things he's supposed to do. I don't even know what his friggin' injury is. I really don't. I
It's
don't
a
know what his
knee. It's a
his
knee.
knee.
For me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they said he's going to practice on Friday. And if he's well, but here's the kicker. He said he's got to be 100% on Friday. I'm like, first off, that's bullshit. He's not going to be 100%. So
No.
if they're saying he's got to be 100% to play, that's bullshit. The second thing is that even if he wasn't 100%, if he's well enough to play, he
Yeah.
should play. So we'll see if he actually comes in or not. I don't know.
I don't really. Again, this is an NFC team, and there's really two NFC teams that I would worry about. Like I'm scared of, and that would be the Packers, and that would be the Eagles. I think the AFC West is punched us enough, and we've punched back, and we punched back really well. I've actually been watching that the San Diego game. San Diego, don't you love that?
Yeah,
And
I get it.
and we're playing the Redskins.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that's what Peggy says. Peggy refuses to call them the Commanders. She's been there. She's been there for. Oh well, okay. Peggy is. I think Peggy's maybe 27 years old.
Wow.
Maybe. No, she's not. I'm
Okay.
just kidding. But she's 27
I
years
gotcha.
old.
As well, she hasn't hit 29 yet. Good for her. She hasn't hit her prime.
Right.
But I just
Yep.
believe that the AFC West has positioned us to play these type of games against these type of teams. The person that scares me on that team would be Debo. That's the guy who I feel like if he gets out in space, we could be hurt. But if you watch the defense, they're communicating well. I watched the game against the Chargers again. I got that all 22 I've been looking at, and they show you two different perspectives, behind the line and then on the line. And man, the Raiders really did a good job, linebacker core, of releasing players into the next person, like Chin to Adams, Adams over to Pratt, Stokes over to Chin. I was watching a lot. They looked really, really, really good.
I agree. I agree with you, but here's the one thing I worry about. Too many times in the Charger game, Justin Herbert broke the pressure, and once he escaped, there was nobody in front of him. It's almost like that there was no linebacker support. So I agree with you that there was a lot of good communication between the linebackers and the back end of that defense. But what really killed the Raiders on defense was in between the linebackers and the front line.
Yeah,
Because again, too many times Herbert got out and either picked up significant amount of yards or he was able to shake it enough to be able to find a man. And
he had
most
some
NFL
moves.
quarterbacks, yeah, most NFL quarterbacks, if you give them some time like that, they'll it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, they'll be able to
Yeah,
get some. And
yeah.
fortunately, Geno was able to get out enough to where he could get some short passes, and he got a few, but again, he didn't have a good game. I was telling Jack before you came on, he didn't have a good game from the jump, and I think it got into his head, and he didn't have a good game. He has to just flush that game.
Well, the 20-9. We're still in the game. We're driving, and again. I've been watching it all day long, and you know what? Jacoby's wide open, and he sails that
Mhm.
ball, and he sailed everything. In fact, he was the play that he sailed that almost got us a touchdown is when they picked it off Thornton. He was thrown to Thornton in the corner of the end zone right by you, Jack, and they intercepted him like on the 1 yard line. But he was sailing the ball all night long, and people are trying to read so much into this. Was he too hyped? Was it? No, he had a bad game. A friend of mine
Yeah,
called me
yeah.
on the way home on Tuesday morning, and he made a great point. He goes, and this guy, you know what is so brilliant is when you talk to a guy and the first thing out of his mouth, I don't know shit about football. I'm just a carpenter. But it sure seemed like Geno Smith was like a motorcyclist stuck in the mud. And I'm like, holy shit, that's brilliant because that's what it seemed like to me, reliving it again. He was like, seemed like that first read, he was slow. He didn't hit that first read. When he did go to the second receiver, it just seemed like he was just out of wits. Balls were sailing. That ball to Brock Bowers, where he was doing a wheel route in the middle of the field, just seemed like it was a hair too late. The one to Jacoby was a hair too late in the end zone. It just seemed like he was stuck in the mud. That was like the perfect analogy from a carpenter, friend of mine.
Well, even the first pass. I mean, he had Trey Tucker wide open, sitting there right in the middle of the zone, and threw it not even near on target. I mean, it
And,
was an
and
easy interception.
And Mike Meyer, Paul Lamau. See,
Pull him
Jack,
out. Pull
pull
him
him out.
out. Pull him out.
I feel like I'm in English 101 when I come on this show. Anyway, the Michael
Mayor.
Mayer, he was wide open in the flat. That was a
Yeah.
quick, that was a quick, that was the safest pass too. And it's like, okay, gunslinger, I get it. I know you're Brett Favre-ish, and I know we're gonna have some discussions, but that play was behind. He threw that behind, and I think me and you talked about that last week, Fester. They were talking. He was zoning in on his receivers, wasn't looking off anybody all night long, not one time.
He was trying to get it all at once, and the Chip Kelly offense is designed to just kind of pick apart the middle of the defense, which is what they did last week, and they were starting to do that again against the Chargers. They were just Gino would say, "Okay, I'm just going for it all. And I'll throw it into double and triple coverage," and they came away with a couple of picks.
So, well, now you have a sample size because now we've all seen Gino for 2 games. We're going to go into
Mhm.
quarter number 9, and it seems like to me that watching Gino in the past, you see those passes to Lockett and where he threads the needle, and they like to show all those, just like we've seen some passes, but it's like, what about the ones where he didn't? And so, um, I'm excited that he has legs, but I'm also going to be a little bit apprehensive on jumping on his, like, I love this guy 100%. Now let's remember Rich Gannon in 1998, guys. Remember that he was a work in progress. People just remember 2000. In fact, he was garbage. At some times in '99. The very first time I ever met Violator, very first time I ever met him, I don't even know who this dude was. I see this guy show up in his gear, and it was a Thursday night football game against the Tennessee Titans, and we lost the game 16-6. It was one of those, because I saw him driving home, and I was just like, God, Gannon played like dog meat that game, and it's like it took him 2 years to get his wings under him, and those little short passes, all those timing passes. So I don't think it'll take Gino that long, but 2 games, man. I see all the TMZ podcasters right now just trying to. There's this one guy we all know, and I'm not going to give him any run. He puts
Don't.
out. I won't give anybody that's not negative. That's not the way I roll. But he showed after 2 games that Gardner Minshew had better passer rating than Geno Smith, and they're like, it's like, and this guy's loved by, I don't know, people who are, I don't know. But anyway, you got to give, we've seen 8 quarters of Geno, and it seems like we've seen 4 good quarters of Geno and 4 bad quarters of Geno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think the first quarter will determine which one we're going to see. If he starts off strong, he'll have a good game.
Yeah.
Put up probably 300 yards, but again, he's got to get off to a good start.
Fester, what are they talking about your defense, or not your defense, about the defense of the city that you're in? Because Bobby Wagner looked, I've been watching him all day long too. Bobby Wagner looks like he finally got old. If you, I'm sure you guys both watched the game last week. The tight end, see Michael Mayer, see Brock Bowers, ate them alive over the middle. That kid, I forget his name now, from the Packers, 85. I forget his name. He really looks solid, but they couldn't stop the run, but their defense looked like it was higher than I would think it would be on stopping the run.
The Giants look good against them in the first week also. So
Exactly.
the Giants defense, the Giants offense was able to move the ball on them, and the Washington defense, tackling wise, reminds me a lot of some of the Raiders teams of old. I mean,
Yep.
there was a lot of arm tackling going on, a lot of whips. They've got a couple of defensive backs that they just go for the juggler and come up empty. I'm hoping that that's the case again this coming week. If that is the case, then we could see some big numbers. If Gino's going to go for some big plays against single coverage, and again, this is where Genty has really got to get into the game. And again, this is where I think you're probably going to see a good dose of Mostert this week, because Zamir White was supposed to come in and pick up some of those tough yards up on short yardage situations, but I just don't see it. And
I
when
don't
when your
either.
quarterback ends up having to when your quarterback is the one who has to pick up those yards on third and short,
That's a
your
problem.
short game that's a problem. So that's where I think Mostert's going to come in and be your short yardage back this coming week. And if that continues to be a recipe for success, I think you'll see less and less of Zamir, uh, which will probably mean his exit at the end of the year, unless he's able to turn it around. I don't know.
I wasn't impressed with his kickoffs. I was not impressed with his running. His blocking was better than Genty's. Genty's, that's why he got pulled out on the third downs for sure. I watched that today, and he looked lost on. It's weird. He looked good the first week picking up linebackers. He looked like he was popping, but watching the game again today from both sides again, that all 22 is amazing. I get to see that first play and then the play from behind, and it just seemed like he was out of sorts. Now, what I did see is the Al Harris, the safety from the Redskins, is very small, and if he's going to try to get either 87, I can't even say mayor without looking at Jack. But he's going to get 87 or 89. He's going to have a tough day because he got eaten alive by the Packers, and he was just horrible on tackling, like you had just alluded to.
Now here's the thing, and here's what I would tell everybody, all the Raiders fans to watch for. And I was getting ready to call them Redskins as well. the Commanders corners, they like to bite, and the Raiders. They've got some speedy receivers. So if you get a couple of those Washington corners to bite on some of those out and up patterns, Gino could be looking at some really wide open guys flying down the field. I'm thinking about Trey Tucker in particular, but Dante as well. So you can have either or both of those guys flying on corners that bite, and you could be looking at picking up some significant yardage and maybe a few touchdown bombs, maybe 3 or 4. Now, I'm not saying that will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised.
What do you think of their D line?
They're,
what happened?
they're,
Are you all right, Jack?
Yeah. I didn't realize I had my fucking mic muted, and I'm like, I want to get a fucking word in, and then I'm like, oh shit.
No, it looked like you were having like convulsions. Yeah. I didn't know what was going on.
Because I'm like, I want to get a word in, and I'm like, fuck, can't even get a word in on this. I apologize. And then I noticed.
We thought you were having a seizure there.
Yeah, dude, it looked very epileptic.
Yeah, it was.
What? Go ahead, Jack. Jump in.
I was gonna say it's all on, just like we were talking last night with Peggy. It's incumbent on the offensive line, run blocking and pass blocking. The improvement has got to be there. And one of the main things that we need to see is JPJ in there, because, again, Kappa looked like ass. And if you have ass work from both your guards, because Parham looked like ass the other day as well. So Parham was holding.
Jack, are you talking about Alex Crappa?
Well, yeah, there's Alex Crappa, and then there's Parham, and you can figure out what you want to say. And I like Parham as a person, very nice guy. But if you're not doing the job at guard, and he was playing horribly, Kappa was playing horribly, and that's the two important portions of your line, because you have your tackles and your center. You need to have those guys bookend with quality, but they're letting in crap. Yeah, crappa for sure. And
Parham has really regressed since he came in as a rookie. Yes. He played really well stepping in as a rookie in 2022, and I'm thinking, man, this guy's going to be a mainstay for years. He's gone downhill. I don't know what has happened.
He always gets the yellow flag in the red zone too. He is Mr. Yellow flag in the red zone. If he isn't jumping off sides, which is his forte, in the red zone, that the Gino ran for that first down down to the 8 or 10 yard. That was a first down.
Yeah.
And he almost broke his shoulder doing it. And then here you go. You get a flag from Parham. You know what? I didn't care for, and I'm watching again, and I was all on his jock last week, was Meredith. Meredith looked like shit too on after watching the tape. And there was about 6 snaps in the last one, right from where you were at, Jack. I got a video from a friend of ours. I'll be showing on Madbomber podcast tomorrow night. where the snap was high and Thornton was wide open in the corner. I mean, he had to jump, grab the ball hit the ground, then he went down. And if he gets that pass, if he didn't sail it, that was a touchdown.
If you go back and look at the tape again, and I tried to slow it down on a couple of occasions because Kappa was having a bad game, and I noticed that what Meredith was starting to do is as soon as he was snapping the ball, he was starting to shift a little bit over to his right
To help
side,
out. To help
almost like
out.
he's trying to compensate
Perfect
to help
analogy.
out, and that I think threw some of the snaps off, but also threw the timing off too. And again, I think when you have a center then who's so focused on that rather than just doing what you need to do, that does not help the rest of your line.
Yeah, well,
And I gotta say this, and it's only because Surfer Bob. Come on, Bob. 2 games into his career, and you're already saying that he's a bust. If you would like to, please go back and look at the tape on a certain player by the name of Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs didn't look good his first couple of games, and he's part of the team that we wish we had back. Okay, so come on now,
but
stop
you let
being,
those guys
stop
talk.
being troll, stop being
I
troll, and talk.
I'm screenshotting all of those guys just to let you know. And I'm going to run a loop on my Twitter page because one of the guys who's allegedly the biggest Raider podcaster pulled out something about Genty and he was blasted. It was just sad. You can't, he's just got to get more time. Carol said it. I think that he's definitely from the Mountain West Conference, and he went from the Mountain West to the NFL. He's got the moves, he's got the power. He's got to learn how to play on he's got to learn how to play on the varsity team, and that's just the way it is right now. He's still he dominated JV. Now he and I believe he will dominate the varsity, but it's going to take a while. And Carol said that right after the game, and I think Chip Kelly said today same thing. He's going to get some snaps, and then they're going to be running back by committee. Kind of hooking back, Fester. You said something about Raheem Monster. Why has he been a healthy scratch?
Good question. I don't know.
Nobody's
I don't know.
asked. Nobody knows either because I listened.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried to figure it out. He's the guy. I mean, Raheem Mostert should be returning kickoffs. Raheem Mostert should be coming in on the third down. Why is you're paying him a pretty decent amount of money, not big money, but he's there, and he's not been on the team now. Is there an injury we don't know about because they're not saying anything about it, and nobody's really asking the questions to Carol about it. They just want to ask different questions, and
And
that's
he's not on
first question
he's
I
not
would
on the
ask.
injured list. He's not on the injured list.
Right. Right.
Now again, I was always under the understanding that Mostert was the guy that they were going to bring in and show Genty the way. And the way you do that is to split some of the carries and have him kind of look over your shoulder and say, okay, now here's how it's done. Hey, rookie, I know you're the guy, but here's how it's done. And we hadn't seen that.
Healthy competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering about that. So, so today I listened to another podcast, and there was a gentleman on. I think I don't want to say the name of it, even though I do like the podcast. There was a guy who's a ex Raider player, Marshall Newsom. Do you remember him?
I remember the name. Yeah, I do.
So he was talking about, and I'm watching the game right now. I see that the Bills like to do that, is bringing in those jumbo formations where they're bringing in 2 big tackles and tight ends. And he was saying this is a one way to straighten out that run is getting a couple of extra linemen. And he says, and then the play fake will go perfect on that until you can actually get these guys, in sync with Genty.
Yeah. And I think again, if the middle of that defense, if the middle of that Washington defense is going to allow it, I think the tight ends could have a big game. And also the running backs coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, and don't put Genty out to the side. It's always like, I mean, every pass that he's caught has been in the flat. Why don't you do a little circle route in the middle of the field and get him in some space? I mean, when you're the defense is facing you, you're facing the defense. If you put this guy out in the flat, now everybody's coming up to him. It's like and you're asking this guy to make two guys miss, not one guy, just two guys, because he made Derwin James miss, but then he couldn't get to the second level. Get that guy over the middle, where now he's not against the Jeremy Chins, the strong safeties. He's against the Bobby Wagners, and let him run in the middle of that field. That's where I'd like to see him run a little bit as well. And that middle of the, I watched the Redskins today for a while, and they leave the middle of the field wide open like we did last year.
I'll tell you somebody else, and this is going to be my wild card for this week. Here's a player who I want everybody to keep an eye on. It's a guy who they just activated from the practice squad, wide receiver Alex Bach.
I love that guy. I love him. I do. I do like him.
He's got grit. He's got determination. He's a good route runner, and if he can stay healthy, I'm not saying that he's going to be the game breaker, but I think he probably could be there for 4 or 5 key catches during the game. So that's a guy I'm kind of looking for as an under the radar player, a wild card that could certainly contribute in a big way.
Yeah.
I would say that they definitely need to open up about their offense. They have 2 rookies there, and I would say that you need somebody, because Jacoby Myers is the elder statesman. Bachman is a vet of at least, I would say, 4 to 6 years, something in there. He just has gotten injured almost every year, but he's a veteran that knows the ropes. So what I would say is that if he can stay healthy, they need to utilize more, and Besh, along with Thornton, need to look at how the veterans do it.
Yeah, boy, did we dodge the bullet with Amari Cooper, didn't we? Because that would, because you're talking about touches, he would have put a little bit of a damper in that. And I believe that Jack Besh, and you don't want to get this guy not confident. I love that we're using young receivers, and it's only game 2. And it's only game 2. And you know what? Chip's going to find a way. But right now, I think what he's trying to do is find a combination that he can count on. Here's a play that I can count on. Here's a pass I can count on. Here's a play. Here's a play off. I mean, they tried Trey Tucker on a reverse, which was brilliant. If he would have had one guy, he would have made it. Ashton Genty on a counter. If if number 87 doesn't get in his way, he's breaking it, because I just watched that damn play 3 times today. It seems like number 87, Michael, has been in Ashton Genty's way a few times in the San Diego game.
Yeah. And here's where maybe this is just bitter grapes or sour grapes on my part, but back in the summer, we were talking about the roster. We were talking about bringing in a veteran wide receiver, and I kept screaming for Keenan Allen. I said, Keenan Allen, bring him in.
All the Raider fans were.
He may not be the be all end all, but you can put him in there, and he will do some good in the short term. They didn't listen.
Yeah, and every Raider fan wants him on the team because we've been destroyed by him for 10 years. That guy's a consummate pro, and now he's got a consummate quarterback. And again, I'm not. Seriously, if you're going to put a gun to my head, Gino's going to be in the talks for a Pro Bowl at the end of the year. The guy's going to figure it out. I have no problem with Geno Smith right now. But I tell you what, and I really think that the Raiders, give them 5 weeks. Let's see what this offensive line. You got JPJ back, and let's see what this offensive line does, because they did do some things in the first 2 quarters. Against the San Diego Chargers, they were blocking, and they were keeping their space. That last play in the game where Geno got sacked, you just alluded to that Meredith had to go help somebody. as soon as Meredith went to help him, they did a backside blitz on him. They waited for that, and that's how
Yeah.
Gino got destroyed. That kind of stuff is going to take a little bit. Okay, hey, this is my space. This is your space. This is what, I'm going to chip. The back can chip. The tight end can chip. But in the middle, right there, between guard to guard, they got to be communicative. So I'd
Jack and
like
I
to.
were Jack and I were also talking about before you came on about on that very play on that sack toward the end. There was a penalty on that play that was never called. The San Diego player who made the sack ripped his helmet off on the field there, and
Oh,
you could
I
clearly see it
didn't
because
see.
they actually had the cameras on him when he did that. He makes the sack and then he takes his helmet off, and it looked like some of his teammates were trying to keep him from doing it, and he ripped his helmet off. I'm like, okay, well, there's the flag. They never called it.
Yeah, we're
Never
1-7 with that guy. What's his name? The referee. I forget his name.
Okay.
I think it was Brad Allen. Was it Brad
Okay.
Allen?
Yeah. So the guy we have this weekend, we're 6-3 with.
Yeah,
Okay.
Minnie Hockley or Minnie Hockley.
Yeah. The dude with the cannons, like mine. I mean,
Yeah.
like mine
Yeah.
used to be. So,
Come on, baby. Come on,
dude,
baby.
you still got you guys still got him, Jack.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not.
not- this all you can't see that. Whenever I do the other show where you can see all this, and I will. You can figure out what I'm holding. Not that the bouncing belly used to be all up here.
Hey, so let's talk about something really, 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 really cool.
Yep.
As I got like 15 more minutes. So, and Pastor, I want you to tell me everything on your Sunday. Sunday coming in, I want to hear everything. But it's like walking up to that stadium before the game. Let's, put the genie out in the bottle here, and you come out, and it was because you and I talked, you had to go take pictures at one, and I got to see that picture. It was killer picture. But walking up to the stadium on Monday night was so Oakland. It was so Oakland.
Yep.
It was just the smell of barbecue.
And the smell of other things a little bit.
Oh, shit. That's in Vegas. That's everywhere. Jesus. I mean, that's why they have buffets there, is because everybody's stoned out of their minds. But they were just walking up. That was so cool. Everybody was pumped. Little kids, families, all the people that were from the Canelo fight were there. I mean, it was
They're figuring it out. They're figuring it out. It may take a while, but I'll tell you, it's a high bar.
Well,
bar.
it's just going to be. And Jack, we've talked about it, and once they start winning, Vegas is going to show up, because there was a lot of Vegas fans in there. There definitely was a lot of LA fans. That was my son said, he's the best. That was a buy now, pay later weekend. The Canelo fight, the Raider, and those hotels were expensive. That was definitely a buy now, pay later for all of us, for that matter. But it was a great walking into the stadium. People were in there like, right as the game started, there was no seat left. Everybody was ready to go, fired up. It was so cool. And anyway, I don't want to go forward. I don't want to go one play forward, because up to that kickoff, it was crazy. It was just so much fun. It was a blast. I loved it.
The community has really latched on to the Raiders. They really have, and I was hoping that they would, but the community has really got behind them, and the Raiders have done a lot for the community itself. So not just Vegas proper, but Henderson and all the other surrounding communities. They've done a lot of work. Nellis Air Force Base. I mean, there's a lot of support there for the Raiders because of that. That was purposeful.
Jack, have you talked with the gentleman from Raider Dad?
I've spoken with Josh several times, just not recently.
What an angel! That guy's an angel. I'm gonna be. My phone just went. Oh no! My phone went down. I didn't want. I'm trying to
Hey,
hide my.
I'm going to start the fight that they didn't have in the Canelo Crawford, thing. One,
Down goes
two,
Apple.
three.
Down
Out
goes
goes
Apple.
Frazier. No, so I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna videotape because I'm actually gonna give my 2 tickets to him for the Jaguars games. Two of my tickets. But what an awesome guy that guy is, man! What he's doing for the Raiders, that Raider dad is so cool. I saw that. I saw your boy Lincoln was at the bowling, was doing the bowling thing on us.
Well, if Lincoln did bowling, then I don't know how he went from the bowling to because he was over at the what is it the poker tournament.
Oh, I
And
think he did. I think he went to both.
well,
They probably had arranged transportation, I'm sure.
well, I tell you what, it was, and I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging, but
Please
I
do.
was,
Please do.
as you guys know, I'm in my chair for the majority of time. People see me, I'm in my chair. So both Lincoln, or not both, Lincoln and Jay Schrader and Reggie Kinlaw all recognize me because I'm, dressed out and whatnot in my chair. And
Wow.
the look of like, yo, Kappa, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm okay. I can walk. It's just that, I have to have something ready on standby because when the legs give out, I'm looking to sit down like almost immediately. So I need to have what's there. But it was so nice that all three of them who I know, I actually probably know Lincoln the best, and Jay I know pretty well. And we are going to have Reggie Kinlaw on because I was talking to him. I said, we need to get you on again. He says, hey, man, I'm retired. I'll do this. So Reggie will come on and do a show sometime in the future, which will be nice. But
Do it right before a cool ass Oklahoma game. That would be badass. Double dip on it.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. You'll need to remind me on that. But it was
Now let me
go ahead.
Go ahead, Jack. I was going to say, now I'm going to give you all next week. I'm going to give you all a unique perspective because I'm not going to wear my Raiders gear. I'll tell you why, because I'm going to the game. My wife, we have neighbor friends of ours that have really good tickets, and they're taking us to the game. They are longtime Raider fans. My wife is from the DC area. I'm not Raider fans, Commanders fans. My wife is from the DC area. She is a longtime diehard Commanders fan. Now that Dan Snyder's gone, she's all in. So we're all going together. So I'm going to wear not the enemy colors, but I will not wear my Raider gear. Plus, the other thing is that you need to know is we're going to the game the day after my wife and my 28th anniversary. So
I love you. You are the best gentleman that ever lived. I just knew you are a romantic man.
You're scoring points, but you better, if I see you, you better have something fucking black on. So when we take pictures together.
I'm wearing black. I'm wearing black. Yes.
Okay.
So I can call that neutral. Because the Commanders actually have a black alternate jersey, so I can wear black and get away with it. So
everybody has a black alternate jersey. Yeah. There's not one person in the. There's not one team in the.
Right.
So now, I'm going to be wearing all black pants and black shirt. So that's going to be a blackout for me.
You're coming on Tuesday. And I want to get I to pump you up. I got to have a good picture. I'll Photoshop shit on you.
I did it with Tom the other time. I had a picture of him with one picture where he had his jersey, but the head was like AFU. So I Photoshopped his head over the picture with the jersey. I think I did a pretty good job because not too many people knew.
He also took a picture of me. I took a picture of me with my hand over my face after
I do have. God damn it! I had a fucking thought, and it went in my fucking one ear and wound.
This is called. That's why check it out. You know what these guys call my podcast from the East Bay? Madbomber podcast. They're like, you're fucking boomer, Sousa. You guys, because a couple of guys are like, hey man, how come you show all the old Raider stuff? And it's like, because I want to. It's like,
Yeah.
Why? He goes,
Yeah.
that's because you're a boomer. And I'm like, okay, great. Name call me. I mean, if
I
that
told
makes you feel
Jack,
good.
I told Jack and Johnny, I can tell you that I won't do it right now, but if you'll remind me, I'll give you the whole backstory on where cheating is encouraged, where that whole thing came from.
I would love to hear it because I think I remember there's a book that's out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book from the Raiders that's out, Cheating's a Courage, because I had Bob Zeman was, dude, I mean, here I am, like living in San Diego, and God just loves me because in 2020, I go outside and there's this guy outside with an NFL shirt on, and I look at him and I'm like, I know that dude. I know that guy. And it was Bob Zeman. And I got to sit and watch games with Bob Zeman, and he would tell me the Soul Patrol stories. And I would just, and he would get a little like, oh, yeah. And he liked this girl. And I go, okay, well, what about the football part? I could care less about that. But this Bob Zeman would tell me some stories. And it's like the Raider God sent me 2 houses down. So the picture that Jack, you saw Villapiano, me and Villapiano with the ring, that was actually at Bob Zeman's funeral. So when he died, his wife was just really the beautiful person. But anyway, he gave me that book. He gave me that book.
Before,
So
well,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to say this before you leave. I need a heads up before you get out of here. Either one of you. Okay, are you both on short on the first hour?
I'm out in 3 minutes. I have to go to pick up the old lady.
Okay, well then
you go ahead. You go ahead and finish off. I can be on for about another 5 or 10 minutes, and then
yeah. But having said
then
that,
I'll need to back out.
both Angelo stated he wanted to say hello to everybody before everybody.
Love Angelo.
So there it is.
Hey, guys.
There he is.
Angelo, how are you?
I'm good. I got a story that I'll tell Captain Jack after, but I want to say hello to the Madbomber, and for you guys who haven't listened to his podcast, again, you have to understand the context that if you really want to become a Raider fan, then it's shows like that you have to watch. Otherwise, I don't know what you're watching. Like, you're not understanding the reason why we have more of a fan base globally than everybody else, right? Like, doesn't matter whether we win, we lose, doesn't matter. And then, of course, I always have to say hello to Raider Fester and his wealth of knowledge, because Captain Jack always tells me, you know, he is the encyclopedia of Raider knowledge, but he believes that Raider Fester might just be a little bit better. So,
Yeah, he's Raider
Fester. I'll give you one quick story. But while we still got Johnny on, I'll give you one quick story, and this involves Dr. Death.
Skip
back in the day. Skip Thomas, Dr. Death back in the day. Now, some people don't know this, and a lot of people think that Dr. Death, he got his name because of how hard he hit, but that's not how he got his name.
No,
he got his name Dr. Death because he showed up to practice looking like death warmed over, and somebody referred to him as Dr. Death, and it stuck. Now, here's the thing about Dr. Death. Whenever he played a home game, after the home game was over, he would jump on his motorcycle. He would drive to the local hospital. He would drive into the hospital on his motorcycle. He would find an empty bed. He would lie down on the bed, check himself in for the weekend, and just hang out there so they could take care of him.
Wow.
That is
getting IV treatments and everything. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
Well,
he would just jump on his bike and just go check into the neighborhood hospital, and they usually had a bed waiting for him, and because they knew he was coming.
Oh my God! Funny. Yeah, because he liked the Jello, probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
That's good. Hey, before you two go too, I want to share this quick story with you, and I'll elaborate more with the chat for a little bit with Captain Jack. But for the context of everyone to understand, and some of you guys, DZ, have seen the footage I've sent, Captain Jack is literally not only a legend, but quite the ladies' man when it comes to especially Allegiant Stadium, because I was very humbled and honored that Captain Jack invited me to watch the Canelo Crawford fight with him. And here I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll be able to introduce Captain Jack to all these different, fighter people and whatnot, right? Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, it was reversed. Captain Jack was so famous in that stadium, right? He won't brag about it, but I'm not kidding.
Come on.
Every single person that passed by our ADA seats stopped, went, "Oh, Raider Nation," and they all want to take pictures with him. And at one point, I even got this great footage. This is a beautiful woman from Nebraska. I'm talking like she's definitely a 10, right? This woman was gorgeous. I don't even know if she's a Raiders fan or not, but at a certain point of the Canelo Crawford fight, Captain Jack is like dancing to the music, and he's got the whole section like all pumped up, right? So this lady who is like, again, drop dead gorgeous. This lady actually stops, interrupts, and goes, "I want to get a picture with you," right? And I got the video of it. Captain Jack can share it if he wants to. I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
I already shared it. I already shared it. Yeah.
Okay, I've been sharing it with a bunch of
La
people.
la 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 la
Yeah.
la.
But it's just that, guys, you don't really understand the star power that Captain Jack has in that stadium. That's the stadium, man. Everybody knows Captain Jack in that stadium. They all know him. They all love him.
Captain Jack sits and listens and talks to everybody like a human being. He's TMZ free radio, and I love it. This guy, it's just so when I met him, I was blown away because you meet a million different Raider fans, and there's some that are special, and he definitely is. He is on the Mount Rushmore, no doubt in my mind.
Captain
he was
Jack
on TV too, Tom. I don't know if you knew that, but Captain Jack made it on television.
Yeah. Captain Jack is the Benny Hill of Raider Nation.
Hey, and I'm little Jack, and I'm
Benny Hill,
and I'm little Jackie.
Hill's Angels. Yep.
That is a perfect. To make sure you got that material when you do my show on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, Johnny's out of here. Love all of you guys. I got to watch real quick, Angelo. I got to watch your knowledge on boxing was really good because I really don't know a lot about boxing, but the way you were getting props from the other gentleman that you had the podcast with, I chimed in when I was watching it. That was a really, really cool podcast, and I hooked up my buddies to that. I got a bunch of LA buddies that were totally into it. So it was really cool. I mean, here we are giving each other pats on the back, but seriously, that was a really, really good podcast. I was engaged the whole time.
Thank you, John. Yeah, no, when it comes to boxing, Captain Jack will tell you, I'm the three of you of boxing for how you guys are for Raider Nation.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see it.
Yes, sir.
It was very evident. All right, guys. Well, as a good fester would do, I've got to go butter the toast with the missus. So
there you go.
Thank you, Madbomber podcast, everyone. Thank you, John.
You gotta butter her muffin. We all know.
All right, guys. You have a good one.
Later.
Right, take care, brother.
And I'm shortly out too, Angel. I'm glad that you jumped on, but Jack, I'll look forward to jumping on Tuesday. And again, I will bring a unique perspective because since I live here in the DC area, I'll give you the rundown from the DC area, but also kind of behind enemy lines type of thing. So hopefully, when I come on, we'll be talking some happy talk. So we'll see. But hey, if it's not happy talk for me, the wife will be happy. So hey.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, Raider Fester, before you leave, I want to let you know. I don't know if you saw this, but they're announcing it in Las Vegas already that the 2029 Super Bowl, which would be the 2028 season, is supposed to be at Allegiant Stadium. So, in your opinion, which is I'm hoping for it, but in your opinion, do you believe that by 2026 we'll be competitive, by 2027 we'll be a playoff team, and by 2028 we might actually be on a Super Bowl run?
My opinion is this. I think we're definitely a playoff team in 26. And then we just build on it from there. So maybe an AFC title game in 27, maybe not, but at least we'll be in the mix. But I definitely see us in the playoffs, not this year, but next year. That's the way I see it right now. We'll just continue to build. We could shock everybody and be in the playoffs this year.
Right.
as the
Oof.
7th seed. You never know. Now, a lot of that's going to be determined in these next 3 weeks. You pick
Yes.
up a big win against Washington, and then the next 2 games are prime winners. I mean, you got the Bears and the Colts. So if you can pick up wins against Washington, and then an anemic Bears team and a hot and cold Colts team, you could be looking at a pretty good record at the turn.
So it's really going to depend.
I would take 4-1.
Okay.
I would take 4-1.
Hey, I would take 4-1 because that means we only need to win 3 more games the rest of the year for me to make my money.
Right. There you go.
And if we are 4-1, I'm just saying, I'm no if I get it, but if we are 4-1 and we're closer to my Vegas win, that I do have money on the Raiders in being in the playoffs, and maybe that just pushes forward for a surprise playoff run this year. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but stranger things have happened. Again, I'm on record 7 wins, 8 wins.
Yes. Yeah.
But
And
we
Tom,
shall see.
And do you believe that if Jaden Daniels does not play this weekend, that we have a definite chance of winning against Washington?
I was telling Jack earlier, if I have this scary feeling that I think we have a better chance of winning. I think we have a better chance of winning with Daniels on the field than we do with Mariota. I think if Mariota comes in, the Raiders have a history of having quarterbacks come in, backup quarterbacks with little to no pedigree at that point, and just lighten them up. Mariota also has an axe to grind with the Raiders because they kind of did him dirty and didn't give him an opportunity to take over. He could have very easily been the heir apparent to Derek Carr, but they cut him loose. So again, I don't want to see him on the field for that reason. I'd rather take my chances with a less than 100% Daniels and then just hope we get the pressure on him. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping.
Take a damage Daniels. Take a damage Daniels with a defense. Our defense has been playing well overall. Take a damage Daniels and an offense that needs to prove something against and I'm going to fucking say it, Redskins defense that isn't all that in a biscuit. So I think you can actually win that game if the defense shows up and the offense plays well, gets their shit together in game 3.
And Angelo, what I was telling the guys earlier was and I'll call them Redskins. So they have cornerbacks that like to bite, and the Raiders' offense has a lot of speed on the ends. So if you have Thornton and Tucker, send them on out and up routes. If the corners bite, we could be looking at some huge gains. Possibly a couple of touchdown bombs. You could end up with maybe 3 or 4 of them. So if that's the case, and I've seen them bite on a lot of plays, and they just haven't been gouged enough. Although Green Bay pretty much took them behind the woodshed, but the Giants torched them as well. The Giants picked up a lot of yards. They just weren't able to get it punched in. They had made some critical mistakes. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the potential is there for Geno to have a really good bounce back game.
Okay, I hope you're right, man. I really do. I'd like to see our team. It was disappointing to say the least for our home opener to be a national championship game or a nationally televised game. And just like John had said, everybody was pumped to be there. And there's this huge extra plethora of people because of the Canelo Crawford and the fight week and the whole bit that a win right there, or even let's say we would have just lost by 1, that would have been great.
A better showing,
right? Yeah. But 3 interceptions, and it just didn't look good. Genty looked terrible. The O-line looked terrible. It made it look like we're a bottom rung team, and I hope you're right. I hope you're right, Tom, that this weekend in your hometown, we're going to be a lot better.
If JPJ's back in the lineup, if Geno's able to shake off a bad game, we can get Genty in both the run game and the pass game. A good dose of Mostert. I think we're going to see Mostert on the field. And also, because Mostert has not been utilized, and I think we're gonna utilize him like we haven't before. And then, of course, if the defense can continue to play steady, then I think all that points into good things.
I like it, man. I like Tom pumping me up.
There we go.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Well, listen,
You both,
having said that, I'm going to go ahead and take off. Jack, I'm going to try my best. I'll keep in touch with you. We'll see if we can make the hookup on Saturday.
Hopefully so, and have a jersey in your pocket. Have a jersey in your pocket.
Okay, all right.
You got to wear something black. You got to wear something black.
I got that covered. I got that covered. No
Okay.
problem. All right. Listen, you all take care. Great seeing you all, and we'll see you. Jack, I'll see you hopefully Saturday, and then certainly Tuesday. Angela, we'll see you soon. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Listen, you all take care. Have a great weekend, and
show the bulb.
Go Raiders.
Show the bulb. Show the bulb before you leave. Show the bulb. Gotta show the bulb. Yeah. All right, brother. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Absolutely. Take care. Okay. Bye.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good hour there, Cap. Really good stuff, recapping everything, and you know that I'm far more negative this year than I've ever been, and that Monday Night Football game for me was not fun at all. that was pretty painful to watch, actually. All of my fears when you and I had talked pre-draft, post-draft, we needed to draft an O-line. We could have gotten a running back way later. And all of our nightmares are all showing up in front of our faces. No line. Genty's not doing what he's supposed to do. And, I
don't like that comment. Genty is not being used enough because the offensive line is not doing their jobs. It goes hand in hand.
You're absolutely right.
A horrible game on this past Monday because the offensive line didn't do their jobs well enough, and then he had happy feet, and he was forcing shit because he was trying to make plays. It all comes down, and I'm an offensive lineman, guys. I'm not shitting on the line.
I know, Cap.
I'm not shitting on the line, shit on them, but the offense runs through the offensive line. JPJ got out there. You got Crappa, as Tom calls him. I think that's a beautiful name for him. And again, there's tape. I was high on Kappa coming in. I said, hopefully he can revert back to the way he played in Tampa all those years when he was a fantastic player. He's not. He's not. So I'm there. I said he definitely was a waste of fucking money. And it would have been nice if Keenan Allen was on our team instead of, the guy who came in just to retire. It would have been great to have Keenan Allen come in. If he wears number 13, if I'm not mistaken, we would have given him 13.
Yes,
he would have been great to have 13 there. But
it would have been nice to have Hunter Renfrow back. If I'm being honest, Hunter Renfrow had a great game last weekend for Carolina.
But didn't he? I heard somebody said he had an ACL tear.
Oh no! Renfro's still playing. He looked great on the weekend game. He got thrown the ball a lot and scored a touchdown and everything. So not that I heard of so far, Cap. I haven't heard that he's had an ACL tear. Salute, Jeff.
Somebody was saying that. Hey, Jeff, how you doing there, brother? Good to see you. By the way, Jeff, not the Mac on you, but I've been given a TBH patch by the Pacific Northwest. Just saying. and I don't have a chapter, so any TBH. Oh, well, I have a chapter. I don't have a chapter patch because I would have to get like a very minute number of patches. But it'd be nice. I'd rep it. I'd rep everybody. It would be good, and good to see you there, Rafa. There, Sharif. I would say it could have been worse. It could have been worse had Mac played the full game. But the other thing is that when he was playing, I know he had the one sack that I saw. He had the one sack that I saw, and then he went out. So what would he have had a game like he had before, where he had what was it, 7 or 8 sacks? I don't know. we'll say again, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We don't know, but he's out, and he had an opportunity, and they just shit the bed. I said it; they shit the bed. But I firmly believe when the Raiders go to LA, they have a better opportunity to have their shit together in one sock. And they play, it's weird. They play better in LA that crowd was amazing. It was black, and black. I would say it was 80-20. It was 80-20, if not more. But in LA, it's a good 70-30 there, maybe 80-20 there. Maybe it's 70-30 because there are some Charger fans that actually go out. But what a shit stadium in LA it is. I'm not
right.
I'm not.
No, you're being fair, Cap. It's the I haven't even been inside yet. From everyone who's told me though, the heat control is terrible, or it gets really hot for whatever weird reason, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I will say, Sheree, you are correct here. If you did a running back with your first pick, the next pick I would have had was an offensive lineman. You are correct.
Next two should have been the offensive lineman, Sharif. Yeah. The next two.
But they ended up going 98 and 99. And just the way it was.
Yeah. No,
folks, do not go away. This is an interlude. This is your boxing interlude. For those that didn't get a chance to see the Canelo Crawford fight, I kind of saw the Canelo Crawford fight because I was there. And next to me, doing the I would say the punch by punch analysis. The punch by punch analysis was Raider transplant Angelo. So, and I will say, and I'm gonna make you feel. I'm gonna make you feel. First off, for those that don't know, Angelo's missus is a beautiful lady. is a beautiful lady. You know it's coming, Angelo, right? You know it's coming.
Oh, here we go. You know
it's coming.
Go ahead, Cap.
This gentleman, when he gets excited, when the punches come, am I wrong or am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. It's all true. True. Everything you're going to say is true.
Punches come, it's like, oh yeah. It's a porno movie. All you need. It's the soundtrack for a porno movie. And I know your wife is probably watching you right now. I love you, Anna. You are beautiful. But every time I heard that, my thoughts were not clean. My thoughts were not.
It was not pure thoughts.
It was impure thoughts because the porno movie was there, and I'm like, man, I can just see you and your beautiful wife, and that's all I see. But it's funny.
Yeah.
At the animation, there is nobody more animated, more into the fight than my man Angelo. Nobody is more animated and into the fight, and so I had fun with that. But that was my one happy, fun enjoyment. When he would get animated, I would just think of a porno movie between him and his beautiful wife because it was there.
Oh man, no. Well, first off, Cap, I want to start off by saying that I've been to 2 boxing shows since we went to the fight. One directly on Sunday, and then one just last night. And on both, I took a long time just thanking you. And on one of the shows, actually, the Sunday show, I got pretty emotional about it because, as you know, life as a transplant's not exactly the easiest one. And I'd shown you the picture of what I looked like 3 years prior, the same night that you and I were at the fight. It was a very emotional night for me to even make it there. And for that to be the once in a lifetime event, the fight of the century, the podcast that John was talking about, we spoke about how that might be the only time in our lifetime, Captain Jack, that we'll get to see 70,482 people in a stadium for boxing in the United States. Yeah. Outside the United States, par for the course. But in the United States, to actually get that many people in one arena for a boxing match, it's almost impossible. Because, boxing's 20,000, 30,000. It's not 70,482. So the moment was emotional. The trip was emotional. I did a lot of posts about organ donation, and a lot of people commented that it's so great to actually see me go out to an event now, having gone through all the stuff. And you know the next set of stuff I'm about to go through, Cap, over here at Comprehensive Cancer Center. So there's a reason why I'm on the show with you tonight too. I was supposed to do the 6 to 8 hour infusions today. And on Monday, I get a little sniffles and a coughing thing. But as you know, right, I'm immune compromised. So the minute something like that happens, talking to the nurse, and they're like, got to go see a doctor, man. So Tuesday, go into the doctor. Doctor looks at me and goes, I'm going to prescribe you this 14-day of levofloxacin, which is really strong antibiotic, essentially, and prednisones for the next 14 days. So they postponed my infusions at the Comprehensive Cancer Center to the first week of October because I got to stay at home, isolating myself, doing all this stuff. Now, that wasn't you, Cap. I want to make sure that you know it wasn't because of you.
I feel bad. And I'm sure that you're being married to a Filipina. I know how Filipinas think. And it's like, I can just hear, and again, I love you. I would never do anything. To make your husband worse. And I told you, I said, I have the Las Vegas.
Right.
Flu. I have the cough, no temperature. No temperature, no shits, none of the COVID stuff that would go with, but I had the cough, and I'm still with the in the nose.
Right.
And that's why I said, make sure you're wearing your mask, which you did.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't you, Cap. It wasn't you.
I feel bad, man. It's like, oh,
no. I was going to tell you. So the theory in all honesty is, I was so hyped that whole week. Because think about it, Cap, right? And you haven't even told the story yet of, I got to take you to a big time fight, an original on that Thursday night. And then between going to a Wednesday fight, then going to the Thursday fight, and then going to Saturday, the whole day. It's a combination of me being immune compromised, me using up my body and my energy more so than I ever would on any given week. And then on top of, it's 70,482 people. I don't know what to tell you guys. There is a lot of people there, right? So it is what it is, and worth every penny of this side effects I'm feeling from all this medication right now.
I swear, I'm not going to say the word, but you better not fucking get sick. I'm not going to say that other word, but you better not fucking be sick.
No. I'm taking the precautions already now. And again, like they with transplants, guys, they don't even really diagnose you. They go, okay, you're definitely sick, and we're going to start giving you this medicines because you don't have any immunities if it gets from okay to bad, because then bad gets to worse quick. So they're like, we're just going to treat you as if you were sick. Right. And I'm sick, but again, I'm getting treated. I'll have 14 days of this. It's all good. But Cap, right? Like, I still have some of the footages that I'm editing, so I can send it to you. But Cam Jack's first experience at a world championship fight was when he arrived on a Thursday, and we went to a beautiful hotel that at one point in our lives, Cap, we're gonna have to stay at. Not together, but you know what I mean. But
you better not paid at the Fontainebleau. If I'm at the Fontainebleau, I need to be bouncing something that if I'm bouncing a Filipina, and not your wife, by the way.
Right.
I can bounce a Filipina at the Fontainebleau. That would be awesome. A Filipina and a Latina. Shit, I'll take a Filipino, Latina, and a sister. I'll take all of those in the Fontainebleau, do like a triple header. But it's a beautiful hotel, and I would love to have a room there for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And as you know, there were plenty of beautiful sights to see.
Yes, there were.
Very hotel. Yes. But no, Cap. So and yes, Sharif, my back aches also came. That's how I kind of knew something was going on with my immune system. So Cap, when you got in there, Fontainebleau, right? You weren't expecting anything, but share us your experience of what that was like to go to your first world championship fight.
First off, again, it was my first boxing match ever, and I get off the plane on Thursday, and I was tired, but it's like I was ready to go out and do some stuff, and I get the word from Angela said, "Hey, come on out. I'm gonna introduce you to the family." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's nice. I'm gonna be with the family, so I'll get to meet Angelo and his family." And I did meet his family because I did meet his beautiful wife for the first time. But the family was the wife and the boxing world. That was the family. So he played his words correctly. So we're going to the was it the underground?
The underdogs.
Yes,
the underdog.
And we see 5 fights there on Angelo. Great events. I get it. Like I said, get a chance to meet his wife. I get a chance to meet one of his friends and his wife. I was gonna say, shit. If I needed to have a Filipina there, I could have grabbed one. But I felt I was one day without a Filipina. But great events that we had there. Great fights. There was and I can't remember you because you're gonna tell the names because I'm gonna screw them up. The black, I hate to say it, the black guy who beat the living shit out of the other guy.
Yeah, from DC. You pointed it out actually that he was from the DC area. Jaleel Hackett.
Yeah. Beat the living dog snot out of the other guy. I mean, it was just no contest. And then that was a great fight. The heavyweights sucked on our night too, didn't they?
Yeah, it did. But for whatever reason, Cap, the heavyweights just suck.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah. The heavyweights on Thursday sucked, and the heavyweights on the 10-card fight, they suck. Unless you have a heavyweight that is a contending, like I'll give me a Klitschko, and that's the only heavyweight name I know is Klitschko, and I know he's probably far gone from now. Give me a Lennox Lewis. Give me somebody that actually performs, right? Yes, I know Ali Frazier. Those are obvious, but give me a heavyweight that performs. And the only heavyweight that performs recently is Klitschko, because that's the only guy I know. But the heavyweights sucked on Thursday. They sucked on Saturday. Willits, what's her name? What was the kid's name again?
Jaleel Hackett. Jaleel Hackett.
Jermaine Jaleel, the other Jackson 5 there, the Jaleel, right? Kicked ass. And then at the end of the night, the young kid from LA, who I got a chance to talk to after the fight, after he won, thanks to Angelo, and his name is La Squerga. I'm close.
It's close, Captain. It's Anthony Olasquaga. From East LA.
I'm
Mexican American.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
Yes.
I called him Escuela, and I'm saying, no, it's not the kid from school, but it's Esquaga.
La Princesa, as they call him, Captain. And remember, he was telling you the story about that I guess it was because when he was growing up a little bit more effeminate than the normal young male, everybody in the barrio kept calling him Princesa, and he kind of liked it. So it just stuck as his boxing nickname, La Princesa, the princess. But he knocks people out unlike a princess, Cap. I'll tell you that.
He definitely doesn't have any hangnails, man. Kid can knock people out. And that was an entertaining fight as well. So that was the Thursday night. And then you get to going to the fight, on Saturday. By the way, great big events on Saturday at Fremont with the Black Hole. I was sorry I didn't get a chance to go. But as Angela said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, going to the fights. And we saw, I would say the two best fights wasn't even the Canelo Crawford fight. The two best fights was the kid from Ireland who won against Fargus.
Oh, you thought that was better than the Mbili versus?
No.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Okay, all right, okay.
That fight was like the third best fight, and
third best. Okay, I can agree.
It was still better than anything else they had, They had Mbile versus Hernandez, I think. Was it?
Martinez, but that's correct. And Mbile versus Martinez.
Yeah. Hernandez Martinez, and it was a draw, and that was a certified draw because they both should have, could have, would have won, and they called it a draw, and I could agree with that. That was entertaining. That was the second best fight. The best fight would have been what I can't remember what their names were. But
are you talking about Brandon Adams versus Sergey Boacek?
Yes, thank you.
And you kept saying Adams was winning. Adams for sure. Yeah. Adams was winning, and I kept saying, I don't know, man. These judges are crazy.
No, and who was right? The novice.
You were correct. You were correct.
Novice. And yes, folks, I did say before the fight, and I have a witness. I said Crawford's going to win.
Yes,
Crawford's going to win.
100%. We have it on video, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Crawford Canelo was a great event. The fact that Crawford just kept popping them, pop, and Canelo would swing, and he wasn't meeting a target,
Yes,
just
sir.
just like that other fight, the one that we had on Thursday. I said the guy throws a lot of punches, but he's not connecting.
Right.
He's throwing a lot of things for show, but he's not connecting for anything on the points. And I was very happy that Angela was saying, "Damn, Cap, you actually do know what the hell you're talking about." Now,
very from the first night, guys, from the Thursday night all the way through Saturday, Captain Jack's analysis of a boxing match, even though he doesn't currently know their names, but just the athletes themselves as he's watching and analyzing it, he had it dead on. Like the way he would see the flow of the fight, the way he saw if it was inside or outside fighting. So I don't think Captain Jack ever gives himself enough credit for actually knowing the athleticism that it takes to win boxing matches. And I was telling him, I think it's because he played O-line. Like O-line and boxing is very similar in that it's an inside leverage game. You have to be in the right position in order for punches to work. You can't just throw them. You have to be in the right, feet position, stance position, lefty, righty. It all matters. And no, Cap, you were on point on every single one of your predictions. I'm even trying to think if you had anything wrong as you saw fight flow, because there was a couple of times where my experience of, I know how these judges are. They're gonna fuck this kid, right? Like there were a couple of times, but you were just seeing it as how it was. You were just looking at it pure. You were like, well, if I'm judging it, that guy's definitely beating that guy's ass. Yeah. Even though it could look close, that guy's for sure winning. That guy's for sure losing. And you were right. You weren't wrong on any of those.
And this is where I'm going to go hot sizzle. I had Crawford over Canelo 9-3. And Angelo looked at me like, the hell, 9-3? What are you talking 9-3? What was it, like 10-1? 10-1?
Yeah, 10-2. I had it 11-1, 10-2.
I said 9-3. And Angelo, go ahead and make me feel good.
Yeah, no, you were right, Cap. Because in all honesty, 9-3 would have been the closest fair assessment. But like I said, man, these fucking judges in Vegas, they always fuck with me. Yeah. So one judge that scored it the closest to Captain's score, he had it 8-4. Yeah. And I think even Captain would have been like, I could go with 8-4, maybe, right? Because you were more solid on your 9-3. But the 8-4 and the 9-3 with Cap, that was good, right? Then these two motherfuckers who almost screwed our great night scored it 7-5 for Crawford. So Crawford actually had to win the last 2 rounds just to get that 7-5. It would have ended up being a draw. And that, Cap, you can't agree with. Even no way, no. Right?
And I don't know if I've said it. I might have said it on a couple of the shows. I'm pretty sure I have said it. I saw the Canelo no Moss moment. Just like Duran. Just like when Duran comes out, no Moss. Canelo's no mas moment was when Crawford popped him so good. He kind of just steps to the side, drops his arms, and just looks like, fuck this shit. I'm done. I'm done.
Right.
That's what his face said. His face said, fuck this shit. Arms are down. And I even told Angela, I said, Crawford had an opportunity just, a couple combos on that. Boom, boom, boom. He could have knocked him out there.
Right.
No. That was no mas. And I caught that. And again, Angela says, you caught that? Oh, man. I felt
it was really fun to see it because you're really like, and you weren't even looking at the screen, guys. Like Captain Jack was looking at the ring. So he wasn't looking at like the big screen. He can see he can kind of feel the moments, kind of like when you're watching a football game. It's the same thing. You could feel the inside moments of everything. And Ed, I would have been right. Just like Captain Jack said, I had Crawford knocking out Canelo. But in the 9th round, Ed, if you got to watch it on Netflix for free and you could rewatch it again, when Canelo was getting his ass whooped, just like Captain Jack was saying, there was a moment where Crawford could have done it. Canelo headbutts Crawford, so his eye starts to bleed. And then that's when I was telling Captain Jack, I think the reason why he's sort of like tactically backing off now is because a cut can open from small to big right away. And I didn't think he wanted to take a risk of something bloody happening like that because it looks bad on scorecards. It does. Blood makes judges score it against you for whatever reason, even if you're beating the hell out of someone.
Yeah, and then it would have been that blood because of a headbutt is even more fucked up because the blood is on something that it was a bad, I don't know, illegal or whatever you call it, but it's bad. It's bad tunage. And you get a headbutt, you get a bloody because of this schmuck hits you or butts you in the head. That's a double whammy. So
right.
And I think he does. I think Canelo, unless Canelo runs through all his money quickly.
Man, that's a lot of money though, Cap. So Ed, I don't know if you knew this, but on Saturday,
I see the spinning circle of death. Yeah.
Oh no, is it me? It's me. Is it me, Cap? It's probably me.
No, it was me.
Okay.
It was the spinning circle of death. It's bad tunage here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Ed, I don't know if you knew this for the Captain Jack's point. So Captain Jack saw Canelo's interview at the end too, because we stayed throughout the whole thing. And even Captain Jack can feel that Canelo wanted to say he might be retiring that night. Because he honestly was really like it's like he trained to climb this mountaintop and he just couldn't get there for whatever the reasons were. He just was not the better man, and maybe it is time to call it quits. But the other thing that Captain Jack's talking about, Ed, is that night Canelo became the first boxer in the history of the sport to ever have gotten to $1 billion. He got paid $150 million that night, guaranteed. That's less all the different endorsements he was getting also. So he reached a billion. So like to your point, Cap, can he really like spend $1 billion? Like just throw it all away?
Hey, I need a sponsor, Canelo. You can sponsor this show. Okay. You want to spend some money? Sponsor.
Oh,
show.
Man. Because I mean, you're right though, Ed. Like it's hard for Canelo to have done what he's done, and then where do you go from here? In a rematch, I think Captain Jack actually believes that in a rematch it would sell again. I kind of disagreed. Like I was like, I don't know, Cap, because he got his ass beat so badly. Who really wants to see the rematch? But
everybody wants to see a rematch. So that's the thing. I mean, that's why you have Ali Frazier 3 times. Okay.
True.
You have the big fight. There's always like schmuck versus ass fuck 2, because the first schmuck versus ass fuck was a great fight. So you got to have schmuck versus ass fuck, the deuce, one of those things. They sell. You very rarely get the chance to see a 3. Obviously Ali Frazier warranted a 3rd, but I think that it would. So the thing is, and maybe, and I want to talk football within the last 20 minutes though. So I want to get
sir.
off this real quick. I would think though that it might be Crawford that steps away because he's got nothing else to fight for. He's 37 years old. He's got a lot of money. Maybe he does one more, to get the full thing, say, yes, I've gotten it. And I did fight one more time. So see if somebody can take it from me. And I don't know the people that are up there on that weight class and again, Angelo would know it more than I would, but maybe he has it. Yeah. Rocky 27. Yeah. Or Rocky 2.2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I get you're right, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that they could do it, but Crawford would be the one that'd be like, why am I going to fight again? And so I think Crawford maybe goes one more and then says, hey, I'm it. And if he retains it again, he walks.
Well, I'll give you the inside rumors. The inside rumors is that Crawford will do what he always does, take almost a year off before he fights again. But if he is going to fight again, he talked about trying to catch up to Manny Pacquiao's division world championship record, which is 8, but also beating Sugar Ray Leonard's, which is 5. So what Crawford did on Saturday was tie Sugar Ray Leonard. So now Sugar Ray Leonard has 5 weight classes that he was world champions for, and now Crawford has 5, right? So he wants to break.
Crawford has the 4 unified
at 168. Yeah, 168. And he's the first person to ever do it in 3 different weight classes. And the only other person that's done it in the history of boxing we're talking, this is 1930s now, Cap, that I'm going to say to you, but you'll probably know the name Henry Armstrong.
Oh, yeah.
That was the last person to go to 3 different weight divisions, right? Much bigger than his, and actually be the undisputed champion on 3. But Crawford is the first person to ever do it in the 4 belt era. So there's never been anyone that's been able to, there's people that have done 2 weights, but never 3. And what Crawford just did is historic, which again, me and Captain Jack got to watch a historical figure. Like, this is someone who will be in Jeopardy questions. He'll be on every historical mark. And me and Captain Jack will be like, yeah, we were actually there. We watched that whole thing happen in front of our eyes, right? But the word is, Cap, because as you saw from our section, there were so many Nebraska Cornhuskers and Omaha, Nebraska people that he wants to do one fight, go down to 160 pounds, win the 160-pound world title, right? But he wants to do it in Cornhusker Stadium or Nebraska, the Nebraska.
Yeah, he wants to go at the University of Nebraska, which whatever the name of it. I know Tennessee is Neyland Stadium. I don't know what the fuck their stadium is, but they have a stadium that is probably 100,000 or so.
Wow.
Maybe it's not that big. Maybe it's like 90,000, but Cornhusker Stadium for the University of Nebraska is a huge stadium. And
wow.
So I can see that.
Do you believe that based on what you saw, could he fill that stadium, Cap? What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he could fill that stadium.
Wow, that would be crazy.
It'd be a home field advantage, period. With all the people that would, and they would probably make the tickets a little more accommodating.
Of course.
So Joe Schmuck, the corn husker, okay, I would say the corn husker shucker or whatever, the mother shucker, they would make sure that he would be able to buy the tickets. But remember, we're okay. NFL now.
Yeah. I'm going to go with football on this one. This is my last comment. The current record for Nebraska football attendance was set against Miami in September 20th of 2014. That was 91,585. 91,585. The overall attendance record for Nebraska, period, was in a volleyball game, Cap. I don't know if you remember hearing about this. It was a volleyball game. It was on August 30th of 2023, and that was 92,003 people showed up. So maybe you're right, Cap. Maybe you're right.
I think so. But having said that, I want to say thank you for being I want to on the show. I want to give great thanks to Anna, his wife, for doing all that she did. I won't say I don't say I took a bath, but I definitely was waiting that night. Waiting, WADING. But I would have taken a harder bath had it not been for his wife on that. And Angela was the, I don't say it was the best date that I had that didn't put out, but he was a good date. He was a good date. But Angela,
I honestly think you could have left that nightcap with 2 good dates at least.
yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, that girl was feeling you. Like she wanted to talk to you longer. I was like, oh my God, Captain Jack. Unbelievable.
Then where was
He
she?
was from out of town. You know what I mean? Like,
We'll see. Hey, I will say this. I'm going to say this, and it's going to be the last thing we say about the fight. After the fight, walking up the stairs.
okay.
Walking up. Did you tell your wife this yet?
No. Tell me.
Okay.
Walking up the stairs.
Walking up the stairs. You know what we saw walking up the stairs.
Oh, no, I did not tell her. Oh, yeah. All right, go ahead. Tell the story.
Walking up the stairs. You know the ladies that have the flowing, it's like tissue paper, but flowing tissue paper. And there was the best full-blown, oh my God, there's her tits. They were out and open. They were out. I mean, you got full nipples, full areolas, full set of tits because they were just like breezy, right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
And unfortunately, we didn't have our cameras on.
The one time. Yeah. Just for you guys to get an idea of it, it's like when you saw 40-Year-Old Virgin and in that scene where he's doing the speed dating in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Do you remember that, Cap? And then the girls breast just come completely out.
I remember the speed dating. I didn't remember the boob falling out.
Oh, yeah. No, that was the funniest scene because you could see Steve Carell. He's keeping his face like as proper as he can, and the boob is literally just like completely out flopping.
I gotta watch that movie again for that. Okay.
Yes, sir. But yeah, that's what me and Captain Jack literally saw. This woman's coming up the stairs, and her boob is just like completely out.
They're being airy. Let the puppies out. Let the puppies out.
Yeah, it was great. Great. But all right, football, Cap. Football.
Go ahead and finish off this last like 12 minutes or so talking about the Raiders. What you can expect, what you've seen the last 2 weeks, and what you expect against the Commanders, the Redskins, the football team, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I think it's a victory if they get their shit together. It should be a victory.
Well, I was pleasantly shocked that when you went to New England, we won. So that gets us to 1-1. The division is kind of wide open right now, especially with Denver playing the Chargers this weekend. So a win for us would be great because it would make us seem relevant. In my honest opinion, based on what I saw, and I understand what Chip Kelly was saying about why they didn't want to give the ball so much to Genty, because it's 17 more of these bad boys that the kids got to play. And the last thing we want to do is see him get hurt. We already saw Brock Bowers with a knee brace.
They say they're putting Genty on a pitch count already.
That's why Chip Kelly said that today on the press conference. He said, look, I know he wants to run the ball a lot, but it's not smart for us because what do we do in the later part if we run this kid to the ground early? So we're not going to do that.
Well, then they need to have Mostert come in and do some running.
There you go.
They need to have Lobby do some running. They need to do some running because all I saw was Genty and a little bit of Zeus, and I still call him Zeus from his days at Georgia. And you can almost always tell when it's a pass play.
Right.
You're going to see Zeus out there. It's like, okay, it's a pass play. I mean, it the only time it's not a pass play is when they have Zeus out there back to back, and then the first one usually going to One to give.
Is it me that's cutting out, or is it Captain Jack that's cutting out? Someone in the chat tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, I said token run, and then we're spinning. So it's the net. I don't want to hear anything. It's the net, but yeah, token run. But they need to run the fucking ball. Period. If it's not Genty, then it needs to be Mostert, and if it's not Mostert, it needs to be Lobby.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They need to run the fucking ball more.
And to be fair, to kind of hammer my point home about this weekend's game with us against the Commanders, Redskins, however you guys want to call them, anything can happen, man. I'm watching Thursday Night Football right now, Cap, and Miami is only one touchdown behind the Bills in Buffalo. Like, it's any NFL football, guys. Anything can happen on any given week. Yeah. Who knows who's having a bad game? Who knows who's going to have a great game? It's why we love the NFL. So let's hope for the best. But what I really don't want to see is for us to get exposed again in our O-line. So something's got to change there. I don't know what. I mean, shit. Just give me something different, right? Like, if it's going to be that bad anyways, then fucking throw the rookies in there. Let me see Caleb Rogers in.
And Peggy said that last night. I said, well, I fully expect to see the rookies coming in at times if they know the playbook and whatnot. And Peggy's like, well, she didn't say fuck, but the fuck it was implied, right?
Right.
Throw them in there now. And I tell you what, having said that, I keep forgetting that Laki Tassi is also there. And you got a guy that is just fucking big and can move people. Why not?
Why not?
Him? I mean, the way Parham was playing, the way that Krappa is playing, why
should
not
put him at fullback. So you know what I mean? Like, do something. Because the other thing I will say, and again, I'm going to be very hard on Genty, Cap, just because we picked him 6. It's not that I hate the kid, but he doesn't block well. I saw that a lot on Monday night. He does not block well for Gino at all. So he needs to work on his blocking skills.
He does.
And getting confused in plays, man. I'm going to give you that one game to do that shit. You don't get to do that again. You need to know where you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to go.
Well, that Gino had to run the ball because I guess somebody ran you can tell.
Yeah, it was Genty. Genty didn't know which side. So Gino handed it to one side. Genty was on the other side. So then Gino did a 360, and then by the time that was all over, then Gino just ran the ball with the ball. And that's what I mean is that's Genty's fault. Running into a player, I still believe that, as a running back, you need to see it happen before you make moves. That was your fault too. So I'm sorry I'm being hard on you, kid, but you're also the second highest paid guaranteed running back in the league. I'm sorry that it worked out that way, but I'm sure you're not. You got a $15 million house here in Las Vegas, man. Like, come on, bro. You need to study more. You need to do more. We expect more, and we don't expect you to carry wins for us. We do expect you to make the most of every opportunity that the Raiders are giving you. And when we see you get confused, or we see you miss blocks, or there was one time where Gino got sacked, and it was totally Genty's fault, right? So that's what I mean, Cap. Is I have to be hard on the kid. I'm sorry. Not no bueno for me right now. And Genty, I'm very worried about Brock Bowers' knee. So can we please utilize Michael Mayer more? It's not like the kid sucks, for crying out loud. Please use him more. And I still don't know for the life of me, Cap, why we're not just throwing Jack Besh out there. Why not, man? Just give him a chance. Just you know what? Just throw him in there with Jacoby, right? That'll work. Shit, it works for the Chargers. It worked. They have both Lad McConkey and Keenan Allen, who both play the same exact way, and it works for them. So just throw them both out there. Who cares? You're trying to make Trey Tucker do way too much.
If you're going to throw it in the end zone, first off, stop throwing into triple coverage, maybe double coverage if you need to make things happen. I get it, but not triple coverage. And if you're throwing into triple coverage anyway because you're boneheaded, you don't throw at the fucking Tucker who's 5'9". You throw it to Thornton, who's 6'5", and who has ups. That's what you do. That's
Absolutely.
That's a stupid in my book.
Yeah, no, and then that's what I mean, Cap, is I don't know who to put the fault at yet. I don't know if it's Chip Kelly. I don't know if it's the team trying to get chemistry. I don't know if it's Pete Carroll trying to do a bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, we're now at the breaking point of we got a winnable game in Washington, and then we have a definite winnable game against Chicago here back at home when we come and see you again, Cap, because Chicago sucks, man. They're terrible. So
Hey,
we lose to Chicago at home. Oh my gosh.
I got you, but I will say this. The last time that we played Chicago, when Chicago sucked,
Okay.
in their stadium,
Yeah, it's true.
There was no way in hell that the Raiders were losing that game because not Williams, but the other kid that plays for the Jets now.
Tyson Bagent.
No,
right?
no. The kid that plays for the Jets now, that was their quarterback, went from the Bears to the Steelers. Now he's playing for the Jets. Fields.
Justin Fields.
Fields was injured. And they said, "Oh man, we got a kid that played in Division I, whatever." Oh, Tua just threw a pick.
Tua just threw a pick.
Yep, I was just saying, Tua just threw a pick. You know, Tua being Tua. That's with 3 minutes to go. That's what you needed to see. I as soon as I saw it, I said it. But Tyson Bagent. Who the fuck is Tyson? I mean, the kid's from 1AA, whatever. Whatever
that is. Yeah.
What Johnny Snotnose University, and he kicked
Right.
our ass.
Right.
He kicked our ass. So
that's true.
I don't.
But that was a Soldier Field, Cap. That was a Soldier Field, and not at Legion.
The point is, it's a Bears team that sucks, that has no way that it should win. And these are the games that the Raiders lose. And I would say the Cardinals game when we're up 20-0.
That's true. I remember that crazy ass game.
When we're up 20-0, I mean, it's the Cardinals and they suck. So don't throw your helmet on the field and say we got this. It's an easy dub. You got to work for it.
Right.
I never say, and for the I'm going to call it, for the bitch that was the Charger fan that's leaving the stadium going, Chargers, Chargers, we're doing the Raider chant saying Chargers.
Yes, sir.
I said, do you know how stupid you sound right now? She was drunk too. So she was like, yeah. I said, just shut the fuck up. And she said something. I said, you know what? Shove it up your ass. And then she stops and gives me, like a little ass twerk. And I wanted to put my scooter in full gear.
Just blast her, right, Cap?
But I didn't. Sometimes I have anger issues. She did have her husband with her or boyfriend. I didn't do it. But yes, were the Raider fans going Raiders? I get it. But you got the W. You got the win. And it was a win that was where we got our ass kicked. Okay.
Right.
There's got to be a couth about winning and losing, in couth. Okay?
Right.
I'm just saying. But I fully believe, the Raiders. I'm sorry. I guess we cut out again. I apologize.
Yeah, you froze.
The
go ahead.
Raiders
You said the Raiders
should win, but will they win? That is. Yeah, I know. I was freezing. So we'll see. We'll see if the Raiders do.
And then I'll end with this, Cap. So we're gonna see you here again in Vegas on the 28th against the Bears.
Yeah.
And then it's the Titans on October 12th and the Jaguars on November 2nd.
You're saying in Vegas. Yeah.
In Vegas. Yeah, these are all the Vegas ones, right? That's 3 home games in a row that are all extremely winnable. Captain Jack, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if we lose all 3 of those. We got to win at least one of these motherfuckers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, we're gonna lose to the Bears, then lose to the Titans. Like, stop it, everybody. Like, I can understand our my prediction of 6, but I did predict us beating the Titans and the Jaguars. So if we can beat the Bears too, we might actually be in a good position, and you'll get your money back for this 7 and
I'll
7 and over.
money. I'll make some money. Fuck about getting it back. I want to make some money.
Right. So, but yeah, no, Cap. That's about it for the Raider stuff. And yeah, no, football is we never know what'll happen. So make sure you stay safe out there, Cap. Is it the first, or is this like your 5th time in Washington Commanders Stadium?
This is my first time watching a game in DC that's a real game.
Wow.
Okay. And even when I went to Baltimore last year, it was my first game in Baltimore officially.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've hit New England for the first time. I've hit DC, the stadium. Now again, I saw DC for a preseason bullshit game years ago when I was in the Navy, but this is my first real game there. So I'm trying to pick off the stadiums. I have not been to Philly.
Oh,
I have not been to Philly, and I've obviously been a Philly, a fan of being there in the Philly. But if I will go to Philly if the Raiders give me a reason to believe it'll be an entertaining game. And notice what I said, an entertaining game, not the bullshit like we just witnessed on Monday night.
Right. Yeah, no, you worked too hard, Cap, to get that bullshit from Monday night. That was terrible. That was a rough game to be in. And I saw you cheering on the crowd. That was cool. I saw you explaining to them the rules, for crying out loud. Get it together. How can you not know? Shut the fuck up when we're on offense.
I do that every game. I stand up in front of, and I turn my back to the field, and for most of the people there in front of me, I do that every game. So that the guy that did that video, he's had that video, and I keep telling him, I said, hey, I rarely get pictures of me. Everybody takes pictures with me, but I very rarely get pictures back. So he sent me a lot of pictures because he's in my section. And so he sent me a bunch of pictures, which were nice. And in the video, I definitely, and it's been, be sure I say this on the video of the rules, grab it and push it out to everybody. I will be more than happy to do that video for the Raiders without cursing. I would say, shut your pie hole.
Yeah, do a cleaner version, Cap, for the kids.
I would. I did. I said, shut up. And I did, and I killed it because I said, shut your barnacle hole or something like that. I'll make it salty.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I do that for the Raiders in a minute if they ask me to. It'd be great. I would enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
It's when we have the ball, shut your barnacle hole. Okay. When they have the ball, scream and shout and make them pee down their leg. And I might even clean that one up, right? With the sound. And then on third down, stand up and cheer on the defense because we need you on this one. That's all.
Right. It would be my last thing is I would love to hear our stadium sound as loud as when we were at Canelo Crawford.
Yeah.
One time. One time for us, can we not have the visitors yelling more than we're yelling, right? Yeah. And we almost had that on Monday had we just been better. But
no, we still had it on Monday. It was just like I said, drunken Charger fans. I really did. I would never ever say to beat the living shit out of a bitch, but it was close.
Yes, sir.
It was close. I mean, I'm glad that. I'm glad that it was there, but yeah, it's like shove it up your ass sideways or something like that, and and that's why she gave me the twerk back, which wasn't bad, but have that. Hey, Angelo, I appreciate you coming in here. We're talking,
yes, sir.
We're talking boxing, we're talking sports, and all the other things, and I thank everybody for being here. I thank everybody for being here. Remember, it's football season. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the rest of the year. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Sunday. And no, I didn't do a show on Sunday because I was busy the entire week. I was busy the entire weekend. So that's why I made sure I did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I will do the show on Sunday from now on. So unless I'm stuck in traffic or my phone, and remember, I used to do it on my phone. Used to do the phone thing to begin with, and then hopefully we'll have a place to hopefully in Vegas to have a party and do a show. We're checking it out. If we figure that one out, I will make sure that everybody knows that. But I thank you, Angelo, for popping in again. Love to your wife. And,
yes, sir.
Make sure that the next time I need to bring a Filipino with me, no, don't even think about it. Because you know what the stance is on that. But yeah,
yes,
there can be one with me, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right, Cap. You have yourself a good night. Good night, everybody. Fun times talking. Cap, are you going on John Sousa's show tomorrow? Mad Bomber podcast or no?
I will be in transit.
Okay.
I will be in transit, so I will be flying when his show is on. I fly from we leave here about 8:00.
Okay. So then we'll definitely check you out again Sunday, guys.
Yes.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Captain Jack will give you all the breakdowns from his viewpoint live at the stadium and tell us how we won or how we crapped the pants again. We'll see what happens.
And I don't want any more shit in beds. I don't like that anymore. But hey, Angelo, thanks again for being here, brother, and we'll see you up on for further shows.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Cap.
We'll do China Mom again too, as I can figure out.
Yes, when you come back for the September 28th, for sure, Cap, for sure.
Hopefully, I got a plan.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll plan it out. All right, Cap. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, there. That's Raider Transplant, aka Reyes Boxing, at Reyes Boxing on Instagram. If you have a boxing question and you're not going to Angelo, then you're stupid. You're stupid. So I again thank everybody for being here. I see that because of okay, wait a second. Oh, did they run into the kicker? Did Miami? Oh, and they did hurt him actually. It might be a 15 because they hit the leg and everything, or maybe he's a good actor. So yeah, so it is now or whatever they did, but it's 3rd and 7. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know why they were kicking on whatever down. Maybe they were just showing somebody earlier, or did that happen earlier? I don't know. But yeah, 4th and 5. The clock is running, so I guess maybe that they don't have their punter. I haven't been watching the game. I just know what the score is. So yeah, Allen's out there. He's going to bleed that clock. And then he's gonna run a play probably with with all the ticks pretty much gone. I want to see this. 4th and 5 snaps now. Go. Oh, okay, they called the timeout right when they needed to. So they'll basically they can run it, and this is it. But this could be obviously it's kind of the game. I'll stay here. I'll stay here until the end. We'll see what happens. Well, they're showing, I guess, Bill's screw-ups. And then Scott Norwood, wide right. And, yeah, lost by 1 point. And I think they said that they always blame – that there was because it was right after 9/11. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if maybe the punter's the holder. Okay. It was after 9/11. And the reason why they had that gust at the end was from the helicopters, from the helicopters running cover. And this one's good. So now they're up by 10 with 22 seconds left. This is a W. So since that happened, I bid everybody adieu. We will see you on Sunday. Take care. Remember the Mad Bomber podcast show. Watch it tomorrow night over on Johnny's channel. And, Raider Talk for sure. So y'all take care. Remember Mad Bomber podcast on YouTube. Yeah, my throat is still kind of scratchy and whatnot. But take care. We'll see you. All you fuckers. We'll get you back. We'll be here.